What is a playwright's favorite three-dimensional shape? A Shakespeare. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Welcome to our traditional annual William Shakespeare's birthday stream, where we play the video game that he inspired most of all, Contra. Welcome tonight to the Wheel of Contra. The wheel is coming back. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to start with a playthrough of the original. This game is not on the wheel. We're just going to try and run through the original Contra on the NES. Hopefully I don't blunder too horribly. But after Contra 1, it's all up to fortune. We're gonna spin the wheel, and whichever Contra game it lands on, I will play 1 credit at a time. So when we hit that continue/game over screen, we're done. We've got to spin the wheel again and start a different game. Unless the chat so chooses. The chat does have the freedom to grant me the permission to use a continue via channel points. I would say spin those how you want, but I'll warn you to be a little bit careful that you don't waste your points, because if I have no continues available, I can't use them. So if you want to give me permission to use a continue, I would suggest you be paying attention to the game. And try and spin that when I'm low on lives, so that you don't get burned by the 9, 8, 7 countdown on the continue screen running out before I see the redemption. And don't get burned by redeeming a continue that I don't have. I guess we'll roll. No continues left for Super C. I guess we'll roll over to Legacy of War. So the games that will be on the wheel, there is a Wheel of Contra command. And welcome in, by the way. We have Dead Zergling first in chat. Honorable mention to Chozo, who was lurking before the stream. But Dead Zergling's first after we go live. Welcome in Chozo Brain. Welcome in Lucent Jelly. And I've heard this before, yeah. So of course, yes, Contra is inspired by William Shakespeare. It's right there in the main characters' names. The Contra dudes are named Bill and Lance. William Shakespeare? Cannot be a coincidence. This is my favorite joke that I commit so hard to, and I'm the only person on Earth that finds it amusing. Which game was it you were looking forward to playing? I've heard Shattered Soldier is good. I've heard Shattered Soldier is supposed to be really good, but I've heard that it's hard to get into. That it's hard to like at first. But if you stick with it, it's supposed to be really good. I'm the same with the Professor of Logic joke by Norm Macdonald. I believe I'm familiar with that joke. I know a little bit of Norm's stuff. Alright, well, let's not tarry, shall we? Let's doth press some buttons. I'm not going to talk like that all night. I haven't played this in a while, so there's no guarantee that I'm even going to make it through this one. I will use my continues on this playthrough, by the way. Oh, cool. Death on stage 1. Good thing I just said that, huh? Double death. I will use my continues for Contra 1 for free because it's not on the wheel, so there's no chance of playing it again. No, my R. The more I see your Contra 1 playthrough, I'm facing the wrong way. The more I think you aren't giving Legacy of War a proper shake. Hey, I used to be good at this game. I'm convinced if Frownie lowered the difficulty of Legacy of War, he would beat it. I probably would. I probably would, but I would lose. I would win the game, but I would lose all of my integrity. If only it controlled a little differently. If only Legacy of War controlled slightly differently, I would hate it at least 30% less. Felt like that room was real slow. No, I stood up into it. I'm the worst. I was actually tempted to pick up that F weapon. I feel like it actually wasn't that long ago since the last time I played Contra. I think we played it. I think we played it earlier this year, right? I think I played it at the end of the stream just like a month ago. So to be performing this badly is, I mean, pretty much to be expected with me, but... Oh yeah, no, the F weapon in Super C is great. Alright, we're probably going to use our continue here. Oh no, I forgot there was an F weapon there. It's amazing, like, with all the time and effort that I've put into Contra, all the hundreds of hours that I've put into this game, it's amazing, like, how rusty I become. Like, I don't know, I just feel like some percentage of my skill should remain. Even if I don't play it for a while. Contra to me is my D-pad testing metric. If I can't Contra on a gamepad, it is trash. I never thought about that. That I should have a game that I run through all my controllers with. I should make Battletoads. I should make Battletoads my controller testing game. I'm the same with first-person shooter games. I have to get back into the groove, Chozo says. I want someone to make these games work on the DK bongos. That might be possible. So I have a GBA flash cart. I think the GBA flash cart will let you emulate NES games, and I could do that on the GB player on the GameCube, and I could use the DK bongos. I think. I mean, I don't know how they would be mapped. Like if I would have all of the directions of the D-pad and the A and B buttons. Watch someone beat Dark Souls with a Wii remote and DK bongos. Thank goodness that was the R and not anything else. Battletoads won't punish you for false diagonal inputs. Oh, okay, yeah. I was just thinking about the Klinger Winger. I was just thinking of, like, the precision you need for the Klinger Winger. And actually, that was a bad way to think anyway, because the way I cleared the Klinger Winger is by being less precise. The whole reason I was stuck on the Klinger Winger for 400 hours was because I was trying too hard to be too exact. It was only when I started playing super lazy that I cleared it. Getting the controls mapped was probably the hardest part. So, I don't know. Like, those like, silly controller challenges are... They're interesting when people can do them, but I'm not tremendously interested in trying them for myself, because they're really hard to manage when you have to stick to original hardware. And, I also don't have, I don't have the proper camera set up, because you really want to be able to see the hands, the person's hands on the controller when they're running a gimmick like that, and I don't have enough cameras. My laptop can't handle that many video inputs. I switched the keyboard controls to that portion of the game. Because I don't trust my gamepad. I did go through every gamepad that I own on the NES. Like, in my desperation to try and find any solution to clear the Klinger Winger. Any solution that wasn't pausing. But my controller wasn't the issue, of course. I was the issue. But I was stuck for so long and not learning that... I had to start testing every variable. I actually didn't have the Switch Contra games downloaded, so I've been watching those download out of the corner of my eye while playing. They just finished. Let's go. I think this, no. The stage is tough. I think tonight's gimmick, unfortunately, I think tonight's gimmick has the potential to be very tedious and frustrating. I hope it doesn't turn out that way, but it's a gimmick much better suited to someone who uses emulators. Because the switching is going to be very inconvenient with real hardware. The switching over to the Switch is going to be super inconvenient too, which is why I made that a channel point redemption instead of a wheel item. so I could limit how frequently it happens at least. I don't remember what's in that first capsule. I think the second one here is an F. Oh no, it's an R. The first one's an F then. Oh, sorry, I'll get to that message in just a moment. No! PlayStation 5 controller's getting drift. I'm sorry to hear that. That's very frustrating. Okay, can I challenge this wall without having to turn around? Thank goodness. Let's go. I have a backup. This one's kept me going for like 3 years, though it's disappointing. Very much. The best soundtrack in the game? Is that... I don't remember... I don't know which stage you wrote that about. The cicadas are everywhere. I think I'm just going to use the machine gun. Oh, never mind. Is that the first time in history I've ever accidentally picked up a spread gun? It must be. I've actually never done mono weapon challenges in Contra. Right? To do like, you know, like fire weapon only or laser only for the whole game. Oh no, I died right at the end. Alright, it doesn't matter. We've got enough lives, so we'll get the 1 credit no matter what. Let's go. Victory! I did great with spread weapon only. Stage 6 has the best music. Alright, well that's a good way to start the night, my friends. Actually clearing our first game. Yeah, it's all downhill from there. It's all downhill from there. That was as good as tonight's gonna get. Enjoy our credit roll, and then we'll give that wheel a spin. All right, my friends, that's our first game. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the spin to start. We're gonna do the spin to start things off. Let's put the game list in the chat. Before we give it a spin, let's hear. I've got here a list of quotes from the Bard. I'm going to read one of these every time we spin as well, at least until I run out. So this is, I believe, from King Lear. You do me wrong to take me out of the grave. Thou art a soul in bliss, but I am bound upon a wheel of fire, that mine own tears do scald like molten lead. Number 4. It's one I've never played before. The Alien Wars on GBA. So I've done the Super NES Alien Wars. This one will be new to me. Great finish considering he had 2 deaths on level 1. It started as bad as it possibly could, right? But we finished strong. All right, so I've got to switch over to the Super Nintendo so we can use the Super Game Boy for this one. Do I have it over here? Oh yeah, I have it over here. Whoa, don't fall down, please. So if you'll excuse me a moment, I'm going to switch the consoles and we'll play 1 credit's worth. We'll play 1 credit's worth of the Alien Wars. So this might be your opportunity. If you think this one is worth sticking with, you may want to lend me a hand with the credits or not. But I'll be right back with you.